Shalom, 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 shalom. This one is for the recordings. But first and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to the God of our forefathers, to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This video, as you probably can tell by the title, I want to talk about some things. I don't know if y'all know, but in some communities, it's Passover, unleavened bread, whatever you want to call it. And I've seen this brother and it's a whole lot of drama going on with this around these dudes. So I guess the wickedness is being exposed, I guess, whatever's going on. But I was watching this stuff. And as I'm watching it, this dude Ariala that used to be Sakari, he has his own thing now, House of Bread or whatever. But they're so-called keeping Passover. And in the midst of this, they're literally slaughtering a lamb, putting blood on the doorpost, trying to keep Passover according to Exodus 12 in America. And for those that do not know, it is against the law to keep Passover outside of Jerusalem. Shalom, shalom, shalom. And what I mean by keep, I'm about to play the footage. Yep, footage. Yep. And I don't know if y'all know, it's definitely against the law to do this. All right, so Passover, if Passover season come and you recognize it, you have a dinner, cool. That's fine and dandy. You get with your family, have a dinner, eat some food, eat some lamb. It's fine. There's no sin in that. But when you take the Passover lamb, a Passover lamb, a holy thing unto the Most High, and slaughter it, put blood on your doorpost. Talking about you're trying to keep a perfect Passover in America, that is a sin. And I'm going to prove it, book, chapter, verse today. But before we do that, we're going to watch this footage. We're going to watch this footage. And then after we watch this footage, we're going to get into the scriptures and show. And we're going to get into the scripture. Let me read this. It's for sure against the law. You slaughter a lamb for Passover outside the land. But you can eat lamb. You can eat lamb. If it's some lamb sold at the store, you can eat lamb. But as far as slaughtering a lamb in America, putting blood, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. And we're gonna show you. But let's watch this footage. I want y'all to watch it with me. Let's watch this.
Yahweh my Yahshua.
Let me know if y'all can hear it.
We cooked that lamb last year all night, right? And we served it to the nation, right? To the people who came and kept the Passover with us, with the Sakari last year, right? And it's not a coincidence that the first two people I told about the evidence, once I received the evidence.
So just to give y'all clarity real fast. So this video, him, Gorilla Hebrew, Sakari, they have this little situation going on. So when Gorilla Hebrew gave his video, his statement, he accused Ariala of abusing his wife and adultery and some gay things. Ariala took a long time to address it. So people like, where's Ariala? Why is he not addressing these allegations? So he's telling us why he didn't address it and what took him so long. So his excuse is that he was getting prepared for Passover. And he's going to show us all this stuff, all this sin he's doing.
Was those two brothers, right? And those are the two brothers that came with me to go pick up the lamb, right? So we went and picked up the lamb on Wednesday, the 12th, right? And we slaughtered him that evening. So I want to just show you guys just a quick couple of just quick videos of this going on, right? So let me share this really quick so you guys know where I've been and what I've been up to, right?
You've been up to sin. That's what you're
not sure if you guys will be able to hear, but that's fine, right? So let's take a look. I'll just put the volume all the way down. Right, so this is us, right? Picked up this U-Haul.
So he's showing us this lamb, his Passover lamb. That's what he's showing us. And remember, the Passover lamb is a holy thing. Remember that.
Okay. And here's the lamb. Here's the priest. He's going in to get him. My little brother is on the camera right now, right? And we grab him. Right? He tried to dart out. Here's us bringing the lamb. Here's us bringing the lamb. Right. The sisters were preparing unleavened bread. All praise to the Most High. And he's fighting, right?
And for the record, I'm just going to read something. What's a Passover lamb? This is Exodus 12, verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year, and ye shall take it from the sheep or from the goats. So a Passover lamb is a male 1 year. That's the Passover lamb. That's the holy thing. That's what you have to take for Passover. And this is what he has. He has a Passover lamb. He's calling it a lamb. For the people that don't know, a lamb is a sheep that's 1 year old or younger. So if it was older, it wouldn't be lamb. It would be a sheep, and sheep meat is called like mutton or something. I can't remember the term, but it starts with an M. Right? So this is a lamb. This is a lamb, the Passover lamb.
And here we bring them to my backyard, right? So that's us picking up the lamb, right? I want to also show you a couple of pictures, right?
I'm not going to watch.
And this is all through the Spirit. And this is why I'm
not going to watch all this. This is when he said he's picking the lamb up. I'm not going to watch all this, but. So this is he went to get the lamb, pick the lamb up. You hear what he just said? They're going to slaughter this lamb at evening. That's what he said. So this Passover lamb, he's slaughtering it at evening of the 14th at Passover. That's what he's doing. He's slaughtering this lamb. Hold up, thank you. He's slaughtering this lamb at evening. That's what he said.
So again, we're separating him on the 10th day, right? And the plan is to slaughter him at even on the 14th.
You heard him.
All right, so I say, caught that without like how about he's separated.
It's okay, buddy.
He's all anxious, right? He's anxious on the 10th day because he's being separated from the rest of his flock, right? Sheep are, social animals, right? They dwell in flocks. They're not used to being separated, right? You can see how anxious he is. And the reason why we chose him, right? He was one of the smallest, right? He was one of the smallest. The scriptures say that in Micah 5:2.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay.
Right? So we're just calming the lamb down, right? He's afraid, right? Same way Yahushua was afraid, right? Him being separated on the 10th day per the scriptures, right? And us. So now we got him here. This is the 13th day heading into.
He got these numbers. It equals 14 for the 14th day, Passover. He takes this as a sign that he's doing the right thing. This can be a sign that he's doing the wrong thing. This can be a sign that he's doing the wrong thing, and he didn't catch it.
To the 14th day, all right? Let me go ahead and I want to pull up.
I'm not.
It's still a little light outside, right? Getting everything together through the Spirit. Akin coming out. Right, look at him. He's afraid. He don't know. He's like, what the hell is about to happen?
This guy really is.
He's scared. Right. There's a fire. So here I am.
I'm not going to show the slaughter.
I'm holding him. He's out of here, right?
Look at this. Hold on, I want to go.
And then blood out of him, right?
Look at this.
The bucket got kicked over, right? Blood is all over my pants, all over my socks.
Slaughtering the
right?
Passover lamb.
Boom.
And then look what he does. Look at this. Look at this.
This is me putting the blood on the doorposts, per the scriptures.
He's putting the blood on the doorposts.
Look at all the blood on my socks. It's all over my pants.
This man thinks he's in Egypt. This is madness. This is madness. This is a dude that's supposed to be a teacher and supposed to know the Torah. Oh, we gonna get this. We gonna show the sin in this with the scriptures.
Are we gonna be able to watch that off later?
She said we gotta watch this off.
So boom, blood on the doorposts. All praise to the Most High.
Look at this thing.
Right. And then this right here, what I'm going to show you now is a picture from the next morning, right?
This is crazy.
Here's a picture of the doorpost.
This man has blood.
Right? Got the blood on the doorposts, all through the Spirit and power of Yahweh.
This man has blood on the doorpost. So we just saw this man sin. We just saw this man sin. This man tries to keep Passover according to Exodus 12. And he doesn't know Exodus 12 is not how you're supposed to keep the Passover. He doesn't know that because he's indoctrinated with horrible camp doctrine. And what I want to point out in this video, he stated, we didn't watch that part, but he stated this is the first time that he's actually doing it this way. When he was in Sakari, they didn't do it this way. They didn't do it according to Exodus 12. All right, so now we're gonna get into this right here. We are going to get into this and show that this man and his whole congregation are sinners, breaking the law of God for everyone to see. And if you're a camp Israelite or your camp does what he does things like this, you guys need to repent. All right, so let's get into this. Slaughtering Passover in America is a sin. Ariella and his camp are leading many to sin. All right, that's the name of this presentation. All right, so it says Exodus 12 is not how Passover is kept. Right, so let's read Exodus 12, and we're gonna start at verse 30. Why is this so little? Hold on, let me see. Can I make this a little bigger? Let me make this a little bigger. Let me go back. Oh, there we go. So it says, "Speak ye unto the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take for them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And the household that be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to him take it according to the number of souls. Every man according to the eating shall make you cook for your lamb. Make your account for your lamb, excuse me. Your lamb shall be without blemish. I put these words mass small when I made it down. I know this one look so small. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it from the sheep or from the goats. Ye shall keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening, and they shall take of the blood and shall strike it on the two doorposts, on the upper doorposts of the houses, whereby they shall eat it. So this is how he's telling them to do this in Egypt, right? This is talking about the live action Passover. So in Exodus 12, they're in Egypt and about to be taken out of Egypt. So they have to do this for a specific reason. They have to do this, put the blood on the door and all that. So the death angel wouldn't come. Close the door. Close the door. Thank you. So the death angel wouldn't come and unalive everyone. This is what this blood is for. This is why they're doing this in Egypt. A death angel is not coming in America to kill the firstborn of Pharaoh. So why is he putting blood on the doorpost? That makes no sense. Let's continue. Verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn of the land of Egypt, both man and beast. Against all the gods of Egypt I will execute my judgment, for I am the Lord. Look what it says. The blood shall be for your token upon the houses where ye are. When I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. So this blood that was on the doorpost, as everyone knows, was so that God wouldn't kill the firstborn and the Israelites can be protected from the plague. This is the live action Passover. This is not how we keep Passover. Let's continue reading verses 21 and 23. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel and said unto him, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families and kill the Passover. So pay attention. This lamb is the Passover. This lamb is the Passover. This lamb that they're taking is the Passover. Remember that. I want that to stick in your head. I'm going to read it again. And Moses called for the elders of Israel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to the families and kill the Passover. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin and strike the lintel in the two side posts. Hold on 1 second. Excuse me, my daughter was out there screaming. Had to go make sure everything was good with her. All right, so it says, and ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out the door of his house until the morning. Verse 23. Again, for the Lord will pass through and smite the Egyptians. And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer to come into your houses to smite you. So the whole reasoning for this blood, hold up. Let me go here real fast. The whole reasoning, well, let me put this back up here. Let me remove this. The whole reasoning for this blood is to save the children of Israel from the plague that the Most High was putting on the Egyptians to murder their firstborns. This man is in America trying to be saved from the plague of the Egyptians. This is absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's go. Let's go back to this, right? So, yeah. What I just do? Oh, dun, dun. All right, so this man just put all that blood in his door for no reason. Right? It says this is the live action Passover in Egypt. Let's go to the next slide. Deuteronomy 16 is how Passover is kept. Deuteronomy 16 is how Passover is kept. How do we know that? Let's read it. This is Deuteronomy 16, verse 1. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. In the month of Abib, the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night. And thou shalt sacrifice the Passover offering unto the Lord thy God of the flock and the herd in the place which the Lord shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. In Exodus 12, they did it at their houses and they had to stay home. In Deuteronomy 16, there's a specific place where the Most High would choose for them to keep Passover. And we know where that's at, but we're going to get to that. Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days thou shalt eat unleavened bread with it, even the bread of affliction. For in haste didst thou come forth out of the land of Egypt, that thou mayest remember the day when thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt, all the days of thy life. There shall be no leaven seen within any of thy borders 7 days. Neither shall any of the flesh which thou sacrifice the first day remain evening all night until the morning. Verse 5. Thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover offering within any of thy gates which the Lord giveth thee. So in Exodus 12, they were told to sacrifice the Passover and eat the Passover in their gates where they were living. In Deuteronomy 16, it says, thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover within any of their gates, which the Lord gave them. That is a difference from Exodus 12 and Deuteronomy 16. And this man slaughtered the Passover in his gates, at his home. This man broke this. It says, thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover offering within any of thy gates. And that's what that man did. And now I want y'all to pay attention. In Deuteronomy 16, verse 5, because some people get sidetracked by the word sacrifice. In Deuteronomy 16 and 5, hold up. I want to show y'all something. In Deuteronomy, let me see if I can put this on the screen. I don't need this no more. Bible, I'm gonna show y'all something because they're gonna be, oh, I didn't sacrifice. I just slaughtered it. I didn't sacrifice. I just slaughtered it. Watch this. Let's go to Deuteronomy 16 and 5, and we're going to go to the word for sacrifice. We're going to go to the word for sacrifice. Deuteronomy 16 and 5. And we're going to go to the word for sacrifice. Let me put this on. Let me remove this. Put this on the screen. There you go. Look. There you go. Yep. The word for sacrifice here is zabach. Zabach. And zabach means to what? To sacrifice. To slaughter. It means to slaughter. Slaughter and sacrifice is the same thing. To sacrifice, to slaughter. Usage. The Hebrew verb zabak primarily means to sacrifice or to slaughter. So all through his video, he said, I'm slaughtering the sacrifice. I'm slaughtering the lamb. That's what that word is in Deuteronomy 15, right? So let's go back. When it says, thou mayest not sacrifice, thou mayest not zabak, thou mayest not slaughter the Passover offering within it. Oh, let me go. Don't skip. Let's get back. Let me do that again. Thou mayest not sacrifice, thou mayest not slaughter, thou mayest not zabach. Thou mayest not slaughter, thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover offering within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Let's go back. This man slaughtered the Passover lamb in his gates. And what we read in Exodus 12, that lamb is called the Passover. He directly broke this right here. But we ain't gonna stand this too long. Let's move forward. But at the place which the Lord thy God shall choose to cause his name to dwell, there thou shalt sacrifice, there thou shalt slaughter the Passover offering at evening after going down of the sun. And we know he slaughtered that Passover lamb at evening after going down to the sun, but he did it within his gates, which Deuteronomy 16 says you can't do. Right? Let's continue verse 7. Thou shalt roast it and eat it in the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. So not only do you have to slaughter it or sacrifice it in the place, you have to eat it at the place the Most High chose. He's breaking this law. Thou shalt turn in the morning and go unto thy tents. Go back to your where you're staying at, to your home. After you have eaten and slaughtered the Passover in the place where the Most High dwelled. Let's get down here a little bit. Deuteronomy 16, verses 16 and 17. 3 times a year shall all males appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles. They shall not appear before the Lord empty-handed. So 3 times a year, an unleavened bread Passover is one of them, because you have to be in Jerusalem for Passover and unleavened bread. Why? Because you have to slaughter the Passover there, and you have to eat it there, not in thy gates. Verse 5, thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover offering, slaughter the Passover offering within any of thy gates. He did this in America in his backyard. And these are people that say they know the Torah, because he's trying to keep Passover according to Exodus 12, and he doesn't realize, that's not how Passover is kept. Who's teaching these dudes, man? So we got about 3-4 times in this text that the Most High will choose a place to keep Passover, to place his name there. The memorial can only be kept in the place his name dwells, according to Deuteronomy 16 and 5. So 1, you have the live action Passover, which is Exodus 12, and you have the memorial, which is Deuteronomy 16. The memorial is how we keep it, not the live action Passover. These dudes claim they teachers, but they don't know the Torah. Right, so let's read this, because what these dudes like to play, the children of Israel got the name on us and blah, blah, blah. Let's read where the place is the Most High said he would dwell. 2 Chronicles 6 and 6. But I have chosen Jerusalem that my name might be there, and I have chosen David to be over my people. That's one that says Jerusalem is the place he chose to put his name. 2 Chronicles 30:3. For they could not keep it at that time because the priests had not sanctified themselves sufficiently, neither had the people gathered themselves to Jerusalem. So in this text, according to 2 Chronicles 30, it's two reasons they couldn't keep it. Passover. Why? Because the priests were not clean and sanctified, and they didn't gather to Jerusalem. So if they know you can't keep Jerusalem Passover, if you're not gathered to Jerusalem, why doesn't Ariel in the house of bread know? Let's continue reading. 1 Kings 11:36. And unto his son will I give one tribe, that David my servant may have a lamp always before me in Jerusalem, the city which I have chosen to put my name there. Again, Jerusalem. 1 Kings 14:21. And Rehoboam, well, I don't know why I'm messing up his name. And Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which the Lord did choose out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. Another verse that tells you Jerusalem is the place where the Most High God chose to put his name. Let's get another one. 2 Kings 21:4. And he built altars in the house of the Lord, wherefore the Lord said, in Jerusalem will I put my name. Verse 7. And he set graven images of Asherah and that he had made in the house of which the Lord said to David and to Solomon his son, in this place and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. 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 Jerusalem is the place where the Most High put his name. So according to, nope, I didn't mean to do that. So according to all those verses we just read, when we go to Deuteronomy 16, the place where the Most High chose to put his name, where you can keep Passover and nowhere else, is Jerusalem. Why is this dude slaughtering the Passover lamb in America, in his backyard, in his gates, where the law says you cannot do that? But let's continue reading. Ariella is leading many to sin. This is what they doing. You giving a so you killing the Passover, slaughtering the Passover in America, putting blood on your doorposts in America. And again, they always I didn't sacrifice it, I slaughtered it. I didn't sacrifice it, I slaughtered it. Zabak. It means to sacrifice, and it also means to slaughter. Look what it says, meaning to slaughter an animal. You cannot slaughter the Passover lamb in America. Like, what is wrong with these dudes, bro? Let's get back to this. I put Tobit here for him because Tobit is in the Apocrypha, and he holds the Apocrypha as Holy Scripture. Tobit 1:6. But I alone went often to Jerusalem at the feast, as it was ordained unto all the people of Israel by an everlasting decree. So even in the book of Tobit, in the Apocrypha that he holds as Holy Scripture, tells you it was ordained to keep the feast in Jerusalem. And what is one of those feasts? Let's go back. Deuteronomy 16. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the month of Abib, the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night, that thou shalt sacrifice. That word there is what? Zabak, slaughter. That thou shalt slaughter sacrifice the Passover offering unto the Lord thy God of the flock and the herd in the place which the Lord shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. Verse 5, thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover, thou shalt not slaughter the Passover offering within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy God shall choose to give thee, but at the place where the Most High shall choose to cause his name. Ariella broke this law. He slaughtered the Passover lamb in West Philadelphia. I don't know where he's from, if whatever, West Philadelphia or not, but that's what he did, man. Facts, man. That's what he did, bro. And it's not even funny. It's actually a horrible sin that, man, I'm not even gonna say that. But Jerusalem is the place, right? So let's get into this. The Passover lamb is a holy thing. And we know, according to Exodus 12, according to many places, that lamb is the Passover. So you literally slaughtered the Passover, right? Look what it says. Burnt offerings required, because during Passover, burnt offerings are required. Look what it says. But in the first month, on the 14th day of the month, the Lord's Passover, on the 15th day of this month shall be a feast. 7 days shall eat unleavened bread, and the first day shall be in holy convocation. Ye shall do no manner of servile work, but ye shall present an offering made by fire, a burnt offering unto the Lord thy God, 2 young bullocks, 1 ram, and 7 he lambs of the first year. They shall be unto you without blemish. So that's what you do during Passover. And what he did, he got him a lamb without blemish. He took it, slaughtered it, and then he put it on his fire and roasted it. That's what he did. Look what it says. Take heed. Take heed to thyself. And this is for the people that's listening. I just read Numbers, and this one is Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 12. Take heed to thyself that thou shalt not offer thy burnt offerings in every place that thou seest, but in the place which the Lord shall choose out of one of your tribes. So we just understood that that's Jerusalem, according to all the verses we picked. We showed. And there shall you do all thy command thee. So he's telling him, take heed not to do this anywhere else, but only in Jerusalem. And this brother did this in West Philadelphia, born and raised. All right, now this holy thing. Only thy holy things. The Passover lamb is a holy thing. Passover lamb is a holy thing. That lamb, that unblemished lamb, that is a holy thing. You cannot just take no lamb and just slaughter that anywhere. That is a holy thing. That is a holy thing. So he can't. Oh no, this not the Passover lamb. It's just no. A lamb, one years younger, 1 year old, is the holy thing of the Lord. That you take, and like you said, you separated it. It was without blemish. That is a holy thing. You're not supposed to slaughter that. Look what it says. Only thy holy things which thou hast, thy vows, thou shalt take and go unto the place which the Lord shall choose. So that lamb, that unblemished lamb, 1 year old, you're supposed to take that to Jerusalem. Not saying you can do it now, because you can't do it now. There's no priest, there's no temple. You can't do that now. That's the point. But that only supposed to go there. In no way you can do that now. But you did it in America, which is a sin. And thou shalt offer thy burnt offerings, the flesh and the blood upon the altar of thy God. You didn't do any of this. You're not supposed to take the holy thing and slaughter it. When you take the holy thing, you're required to do this. Put that blood upon the altar of the Lord thy God, and the blood of thy sacrifices shall be poured out against the altar of the Lord thy God. Now watch this. Watch this. I want y'all to see this, right? Because they like to play these games. They like to play these games. I'm going to go to, this is Deuteronomy chapter 12. I want y'all to go to verse 26. Oh, I keep doing that. 27. Look what it says. Look what it says. Hold up. I want you to do this because look, it says, the blood of thy sacrifices shall be poured. Watch this. I want y'all to watch this. Let me remove this. Hold up. Let's go back. I want to go to Deuteronomy. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 12. And I want y'all to do it. Deuteronomy 12, verse 27. Go to verse 27. Look what it says. Verse 27 says, the blood of thy, look at this. Zabak, definition, sacrifice, meaning a slaughter. Slaughter or kill. So when you slaughter, and again, this slaughter is talking about sacrifices. When you slaughter that holy thing, you're required to take it to Jerusalem to sacrifice it. You're required. If you take the holy thing and slaughter it in America and it doesn't go to Jerusalem, you're breaking the law. Meaning to slaughter, to sacrifice. This is ridiculous. These brothers don't know that. But let's go back here. It says, the blood of thy sacrifices shall be poured out against the altar. So this holy thing, which the Passover lamb is a holy thing, you're supposed to take it to pour on the altar in Jerusalem. Did Ariella do that? No. He broke the law. This is crazy. When you don't know the Torah, this is what happens. When you don't know the Torah, this is what happens. Now, key differences between Exodus 12 and Deuteronomy 16. Exodus 12, first Passover in Egypt, focused on protection from the final plague. Deuteronomy 16, Passover is a national festival to be observed in the Promised Land, specifically Jerusalem. Exodus 12, they were told to keep it in their individual homes. Deuteronomy 16 has to be observed in a central place of worship, which is Jerusalem. There is differences from Deuteronomy 16 and Exodus 12. You cannot keep Passover according to Exodus 16 because you're going to break Deuteronomy. You can't keep Passover according to Exodus 12 because you would break Deuteronomy 16. And that's what Ariella did, because he doesn't know that Exodus 12 is not how you keep Passover. Exodus 12, blood applied on the doorpost for protection. Protection from what? The death angel, the final plague. Deuteronomy 16, no mention of applying blood anywhere. Because in Deuteronomy 16, in Jerusalem, is no need to put blood on the doorpost. Why? Because there's no plague coming to kill firstborn. What's going on with this dude? Exodus 12, had to stay indoors until the morning, eating in haste. Deuteronomy 16, you are to be away from your home in Jerusalem. Exodus 12, you had to stay inside your home. Deuteronomy 16, you're not home. You're in Jerusalem at the temple. Exodus 12 and Deuteronomy 16 are different. Exodus 12 was the live action Passover. Deuteronomy 16 is how we every time I mess up on words, I be thinking nobody. You were supposed to make it a memorial. Supposed to make it a memorial in Deuteronomy 16. Exodus 12, live action, that they was living it. Deuteronomy 16, memorial. When you don't know the law, you two out here being wicked, abusing women. You don't know the law. You don't study it. This shows you how Passover changed from an emergency event in Egypt to a structured national celebration in the Promised Land. So Ariala mistake, one of his many mistakes. Let me bring this down now. One of his many mistakes was that he was trying to keep Passover according to Exodus 12, because he's not studied the law enough to realize Exodus 12 is not how you keep the Passover. And that caused him to sin. And he needs to repent. And he needs to come out and say, I messed up. I'm live on my YouTube in front of all these viewers. I showed an example how I was keeping Passover and it was sinful. And I broke God's law. That's what he needed to do. That's what he needed to do. Again, Passover cannot be kept. I'm gonna go through this one more time. I'm gonna go through it briefly. I know how I do. Go through it briefly. Exodus 12 is not how Passover is to be kept. Exodus 12 is the live action Passover. It's the emergency event that how the children of Israel got out of Egypt. It's not how you keep Passover. Deuteronomy 16 is how you keep Passover, how it became a memorial. How it became a memorial. Deuteronomy 16 is the memorial, how it's kept. And it's kept where? In the place the Most High chose his name to dwell. We went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 verses to show you where the Most High chose his name was Jerusalem. So according to the Bible, according to the Tanakh, you can only keep Passover in Jerusalem. And this man took the Passover, which is a lamb, 1 year, unblemished. He took that and slaughtered it. And we know that the word for slaughter and sacrifice is zabak, is the same word. It's the same word. He put blood on his doorposts because he's an idiot. A dummy with a Bible. That's what he is. Right? The Passover lamb is a holy thing. The law teaches you the holy thing. You slaughter that holy thing, you're required to take that blood and put it on the altar. Take it to Jerusalem. Once he slaughtered that holy thing and he didn't do that, it's a sin. He didn't do what God commanded. That is a sin. I went through specific key differences between Exodus 12 and Deuteronomy 16 to let you know Exodus 12 is not how you keep Passover. The first difference, Exodus 12 was protection from the final plague. Deuteronomy 16 is a national festival, a memorial that's kept in the Promised Land. Exodus 12 was celebrated in your individual home. Deuteronomy 16 had to be observed in the central place, which was Jerusalem. Exodus 12, blood was applied on the doorpost for protection from the final plague. Deuteronomy 16, no blood is mentioned about any doorpost because you wouldn't need that protection from the final plague because they're not going through the live action Passover. Exodus 12, you had to stay indoors and eat in haste till the morning. Deuteronomy 16, you cannot be at your house eating Passover, slaughtering the Passover. You can't. That shows you the difference. I'm doing something. Here you go. That shows you the difference between Exodus 12 and Deuteronomy 16. That's how you know, by studying the Tanakh, going through it and looking at it. That's what keeps you out of sin. But this brother did not study the law. He doesn't study the law, so he didn't know that. He's too busy abusing women. He's too busy being messy in other people's sex lives and doing all that stuff, trying to expose other people's sin. And now he's just being exposed over and over. This is crazy. Again, I'm about to end this off here. Wasn't going to be long. I just wanted to expose this madness. Deuteronomy tells you how to keep Passover. You cannot keep Passover. All right, and I want to do this real fast. I'm gonna play the video one more time. Hold up. I'm gonna play the video one more time. I'm gonna play this video one more time. This man. I'm gonna play this wickedness one more time. Hold up, let me see.
Also show you a couple of pictures, right?
This man.
And this is all through the Spirit. And this is why, not a coincidence, that the first two people I told about the evidence, once I received the evidence, was those two brothers, right? And those are the two brothers that came with me to go pick up the lamb, right? So we went and picked up the lamb on Wednesday, the 12th, right? And we slaughtered him that evening. So I want to just show you guys.
Start right there. He said he slaughtered the Passover lamb. That's what he said. Remember, slaughter is a box. Slaughter, sacrifice, zabak is the same word.
A couple of just quick videos of what's going on, right? So let me share this really quick so you guys know where I've been and what I've been up to, right? Not sure if you guys will be able to.
You've been up to sin. You've been up to breaking God's commandments, defiling the Passover.
That's fine, right? So let's take a look. I'll just put the volume all the way down. Right, so this is us, right? Picked up this U-Haul. Okay. And here's the lamb. Here's the priest. He's going in to get him.
The lamb
My
and the
little brother
priest
is on the camera right now.
The lamb and the priest in America.
Right, and we grab him. Right, he tried to dart out. Here's us bringing the lamb.
And for the record, people try to make the argument, oh, it's a lamb. It's not the Passover lamb. Lamb are sheep that are 1 year old, 1 year and younger. So when it tells you take a lamb of the first year, it's talking about a sheep that is 1 year. So you cannot take a sheep that is 1 year and not be a lamb. So once you take a sheep that is 1 year and younger, it's a lamb. That's the Passover lamb. It's no, what are you talking about? It's not the Passover lamb. You took this lamb, a sheep that's 1 year and younger. You took it, separated it for the purpose of slaughtering it on the 14th that evening.
Here's us bringing a lamb. Like you can't make this up, right? Right. All right, so I say kota without like how. Again, we're separating him on the
look what he says
10th day, right? And the plan is to slaughter him at even on the 14th.
He's taking this lamb, which is the Passover, and slaughtering it on the 14th at evening. Remember, slaughter, sacrifice is the same word in Hebrew. This is what he's doing in America.
Yeah, he's separated.
It's okay, buddy.
He's all anxious, right? He's anxious, scriptures, right? And us being able to pick him up, burn the pertinence. We actually are.
Look at this. Look at this.
Evening, right? Right. Here he is. We're laying out plastic, okay? Laying out plastic to get the blood and whatnot. We got this big trash can so that we will burn his body. This is a fire pit right here that we used to we were going to use to burn the pertinence. We actually ended up burning the skin, right, and the wool in this, right?
He's burning it. This is a burnt offering. He's doing a burnt offering in America. The Passover lamb.
So here we are. The sun is getting ready to set. Still,
if these camps, like I get a lot of these camps hate women, so they don't care about the abuse and all that stuff. But this man is literally admitting and showing he's slaughtering and burning the Passover lamb in America. This what y'all doing in these camps?
a little light outside, right? Getting everything together through the spirit. Akin coming out. Right, look at him. He's afraid. He don't know. He's like, what the hell is about to happen? Right? He's scared. The bucket got kicked over. Right, blood is all over my pants, all over my socks. Right. Boom. Now I'm getting ready to start separating. So he's out of here, right?
Then he takes the blood, puts on the doorpost, like he's getting protection from the final plague. Like this is what they doing, bro. I'm not even gonna say them because I don't know if all camps do this buffoonery, trying to offer the slaughtering the Passover lamb in America, burning it as like this is what he's doing. This is the man that just started a organization to teach black men about the Bible. He's going to have black men and black boys in sin if they follow this foolishness, bro. But again, I'm done. Ariella, you need to repent from this madness. This is wicked. And if you want to debate this topic, if you feel like you're right, if you're correct, if you feel like you're not in sin and you didn't do anything wrong, this is an open challenge. I want to debate you on this because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And I want to hold up. I want to show something real fast. Hold up. No,
I don't know what inside institution you will skip
Hold up. I
from.
want to show something before I go. Hold on, I want y'all to hear something. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. This listen to this.
What you're doing is you're asserting that now the ordinance of the Passover has to be kept in Jerusalem now. You're asserting that. There's nowhere where the text. Wait, hold on.
For the record, this is me having a conversation about where the Torah says Passover can be kept and not kept. And this is Maul from Tabernacle of David. Right? He's not in Tabernacle of David anymore. I think this is another dude that started his own camp. So he didn't know that it says Passover can only be kept in America. And he was a top person in these camps. And look how I destroy him on this topic.
What you're doing is you're asserting that now the ordinance of the Passover has to be kept in Jerusalem now. You're asserting that. There's nowhere where the text. Wait, hold on. There's nowhere in the text that says the Passover must be kept in Jerusalem. There's not one commandment that says that. So now for you, you're taking that position based off of your understanding of some other text, but you're not getting that based off of the understanding of the commandment that was given concerning the ordinance of the Passover. I just want to make sure I said that. in the conversation about you.
Yes, I can 100% show you where they're told to keep the Passover in Jerusalem. So that's why
in the Torah?
Yes, Deuteronomy 16. That's why I was showing the difference between Exodus 12 and Deuteronomy 16. So this is Deuteronomy 16, verse verse 2. And thou shalt sacrifice the Passover unto the Lord thy God of thy flock and the herd in the place which the Lord shall choose to place his name there. What's the place where the Most High placed his name?
The Lord placed his name in Jerusalem, like we just read. No, there's nowhere in the text that says the Passover must be kept in Jerusalem. There's not one commandment that says read. So now, and the Lord placed his name in the children of Israel as well. Okay, that's fine. But you and Shalper already agreed on that. No. I'm talking about you. You just said it's nowhere in the Torah where the Most High told us to keep Passover in Jerusalem. You literally just said that. I said, you showed you. Did you show me that? I said, you didn't show it. That was the argument. No, you said it's not. I wanted to I'm saying I'm progressing the conversation. You're not showing it. That's something I stepped in to ask you. What was the location that he said it? You didn't show it at that point.
There is nowhere in the Torah where the Most High told us to keep Passover in Jerusalem. You literally just said that before you went on mute. And I'm showing you right here, what I was trying to get to before, right here, Deuteronomy 12, Deuteronomy 16, the 40th year, he told them you can only do that in Jerusalem and not in your gates no more. Because in Exodus 12, he told them they could do it in the gates no more, only in the place I chose my name, and that's Jerusalem. He said that wasn't.
Wait, read it again, because he didn't say you can't do it anyway. Hold on.
Thou shalt therefore sacrifice the Passover unto the Lord thy God of the flock and the herd in the place which the Lord shall choose to place his name there. Let me jump down verse 5, because you said it's not, it don't say that. Verse 5. Thou shalt not sacrifice the Passover within any of thy gates which the Lord thy God giveth. I agree with it. Which the Lord, okay, so I'm happy you agree with me now. I beat him to submission. First, it's no place in the Torah where it says you have to be kept in Passover. Showed him it, spanked him with it. Now he said, okay, I agree with the text. That's correction. If Ariella don't correct himself, y'all camp Israelites, y'all his brother, y'all better call him out. But I'm about to go now. Shalom. Thank y'all for tuning in. Get this video to Ariella. But shalom, my good brother and my good sisters. Peace.